At this point in the draft, where do you think the value lies? Because I'm looking at the names up on the top of the ESPN board, and again, you got to be careful with these rankings because they're always out of date in some way or another, even if only in minor ways, and they're the representation of multiple people trying to come up with one cohesive, plan for a draft and how a draft is supposed to break. With that said, like, who are the guys up towards the top of the rankings that you like at this point in the draft, Jeff?
I'm seeing Doug Martin, who could really take off and turn back the clock and be a running back one. I mean, there's not that many running backs out there that are legit starting running backs right now. But Allen Robinson, definitely, I like him a lot. Nelson Aguilar, if I knew he's actually starting, I would love him in that offense. He's really good talent. So, like those kind of guys, pretty much.
Yeah, specifically, Robinson and Martin are both guys I'm considering with this pick that I have right now. I do like Crowell, if only because I hate the way the Cleveland backfield is shaping up as kind of a potential committee. But he did look better than all the other options. I mean, we didn't see Duke Johnson in the NFL last year, but just seeing how long they took before kind of settling on Crowell or West last season, Crowell looked the best. That offensive line is good. Whoever carries the ball there with the most frequency is probably going to have value. I don't think I could justify taking him right now. I might have him ranked higher than Doug Martin, but I actually think there's probably more value again in waiting. Is Abdullah still available? He's another guy.
He got taken.
Here. He did get taken. That makes sense. Okay.
Or someone. Yeah. I like Crowell a lot. He's actually a really good talent. He was supposed to be like a round 1 or 2 pick. And straight out of high school, I think he was the number 1 running back in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But he got busted for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the NFL, so who cares?
I think at this point I can't argue against Martin, if only because he does have a clearer line to getting carries than Crowell does. Although I do think that Crowell is the better runner, taken precisely after I made my pick.
Yeah, immediately too. The guy was like so excited.
Yeah, he really didn't want me to take Crowell.
Those were both the top 2 guys on my list too. So
yeah, right. I think the other thing that might be in Doug Martin's favor is, even if Crowell does become the lead back in Cleveland, we're not sure if he's going to become the goal line back. And I hate to keep harping on this and preaching the touchdown upside, but in a PPR league where volume counts for less, touchdowns really do kind of rule the school, and that's where you want to try to find most of your value.
Right. Yep. I agree. Right now I'm looking at Nelson Aguilar. I mean, he's a first-round wide receiver in the Chip Kelly offense, and he has a great pedigree. I know he was one of the best receivers in college last year. He went to USC, and I'll roll the dice and not believe in the coach speak, and I think he will actually start to begin the year. So it's a high upside pick, relatively low downside, but any receiver in Chip Kelly's offense, especially with Sam Bradford now. I love Sam Bradford as in that kind of offense. If he just stays healthy and stays upright, Sam Bradford can really light up the scoreboard. And with Chip Kelly behind him, I like the chances of Aguilar and Jordan Matthews to just really light it up.
Yeah, 2 years ago, before Stafford got hurt, he was on pace to be a quarterback 1 with the Rams, and the Rams don't have nearly the offensive personnel that the Eagles do, or the scheme really, to the point where
definitely
that whole offense. I don't think the whole offense is being undervalued because, again, of course, DeMarco Murray and Jordan Matthews are early picks. But yeah, Bradford's value is really suppressed right now, mostly because some people are worried that he's not going to stay healthy. The thing is, in a 1 quarterback league like this, I mean, even if he gets hurt, you're going to be able to find somebody serviceable on waivers if you didn't already draft a serviceable backup.
I like platooning in a lot of my leagues where I wait on quarterback. I love platooning Bradford with someone like Kaepernick or even Andy Dalton or Alex Smith. I mean, yeah, or you can really platoon Bradford with Mark Sanchez, and that's a legitimate strategy, you know?
Yeah,
One of those guys weekly is going to probably return top 10 quarterback value.
In a standard, 1 quarterback auction league, there's no way I'm paying more than maybe $10 for a quarterback this year.
Oh, yeah.
There's no need to.
Like I'll bid on Luck and Rogers, but I'll stop bidding after 20 or like 25 or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got a question for you. Brandon LaFell is sitting at the top of the Yahoo rankings here.
Yep.
How do you feel about LaFell? Because I'm not convinced, and this might be more just like fear of Belichicking me.
Yeah, right.
But he's ranked pretty high everywhere, and I don't see it. And I'm wondering if maybe you have the dissenting opinion on this, or
I do a little bit. I don't want to like Brandon LaFell, but he falls in a lot of drafts, and really he's a good talent. Like straight out of when he was in Carolina, he actually had a lot of potential, but he had a really inaccurate Cam Newton throwing him the ball. And he went to New England, just like a lot of running backs. He put up decent, respectable stats, and I don't think he really started for that for every week last year. I like LaFell, I do. With Tom Brady hating the NFL, they could just go in all FU mode this year. And that's what happened last time with Spygate. Remember the Spygate happened, and
True.
Tom Brady came out and threw 50 touchdowns, and Randy Moss broke the single season touchdown record. So something like that could happen. It really could. And LaFell would just be, he just reap the benefits off of that. So yeah, he's dropped. He's a guy that I'm not going to reach for ever. But if he's going to drop to me, I might take him. And like right now, he's dropping to me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I already have 4 receivers. I might just take him. Let's see. I need a tight end. Let's see what the best tight ends are. Zach Ertz. All right, I'm not going to take Ertz. Do you see the Eifert Tower?
The Eifert Tower? He's probably buried.
Oh, he's way down there. Oh,
yeah, you can wait on Eifert if that's who you want.
They have completely okay. All
you might as well take another wide receiver or running back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go actually. Let's see. I'll check out the running backs real fast. Top running backs I like a lot of nothing. Duke Johnson, Charles Sims. They could take your handcuff. Alfred Blue, I'm not a big fan.
I'm not worried about Charles Sims though.
I'll take a chance on Duke Johnson. He's got decent size upside. It's not a PPR league, I know, but Crowell, I think if he drops the ball one more time, he puts the ball on the ground, he can get benched. And I know they like Duke Johnson a lot. And I'm not sure how good of a runner he is, but I know he's going to get most of the catches. And if he can trickle in a fair amount of rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, getting him in the 8th round is, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's a great upside pick, especially considering how much earlier Crowell went, like how many picks.
Right.
Again, whoever's running the ball there is going to have value, and whether it's through injury or fumble relating benching, if Duke Johnson's that guy, he's going to be a guy worth owning. And at this point in the draft, there's not a whole lot of risk in taking him, especially with these rosters set up the way they are. Anyway, I'm on the clock here. I'm looking at Charles Johnson from the Vikings. I'm looking at Rashad Perryman, kind of some upside wide receiver plays. I'm not in love with any of the running backs who are currently available. I would consider Devontae Freeman. I'm not as low on him as you are relative to Tevin Coleman. In fact, I'd probably rather have Freeman in redraft this year.
Right.
I think his floor is a little higher. But with that said, I think there's more value to be had with a wide receiver here. And I think for me, with this pick, it's going to be Charles Johnson. If you can get the number 1 wide receiver for the Vikings, I think that's worth doing. I'm not sure if it's going to be Charles Johnson or Mike Wallace, but I'd rather gamble on the younger player. When it's in doubt, you know what I mean?
I agree. I like Charles Johnson a lot. I mean, he's got the measurables. It looks like Mike Wallace will probably just be the deep wide out. And Charles Johnson, he can go deep too, but he should be more possession guy. And you should get a lot of the touchdowns. And Teddy Roosevelt, Teddy Two Gloves, he's good. So he's looking good. He looked good yesterday in the Hall of Fame game. So
where do you rank him, just out of curiosity, among quarterbacks? Do you have him as like a top 15 guy or just a top 20 guy?
I have him as a top 15 guy, probably. He's right around there with Carson Palmer. He's just below Tannehill, but I'll take him. I probably like Bradford a little bit more, but I would actually probably take Teddy Bridgewater before Bradford, But if I was going to platoon quarterbacks, I would love to platoon something like Bridgewater with Kaepernick. Yeah. Or Bridgewater with Palmer, or Bradford, like two or three of those guys.
I have Bridgewater 17th among quarterbacks, And that's not necessarily an indication of where he will finish. I think that's kind of like, when I look at the quarterback landscape, that's his average outcome in terms of what I expect. I have him one spot behind Kaepernick, two spots behind Bradford, but those guys are all in a tier together with like Cutler and Carson Palmer.
I agree. It's all upside with those guys, it seems.
Sure, yeah, and I mean that late in the draft, you're not spending anything that's worth anything. Like, your draft picks don't have a whole lot of value at that point. You're kind of just throwing darts. So yeah, I like Bridgewater as an upside play this year. Again, just another argument for two quarterback. Like, these guys need to matter. They shouldn't just be backups that rot away on your bench while you start, Roethlisberger, Tony Romo, and Matt Ryan. I get so bored of these one quarterback leagues.
They are boring. They really are. I agree. Another reason why I like Bridgewater is Norv Turner. It really with Norv Turner and Adrian Peterson being back too,
it's a great
really
point.
The defense is gonna be keying in on the run. So Bridgewater could be awesome.
Do you buy into the Norv Turner tight end whisperer talk? Or are you in on what's his name?
Rudolph.
Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, the red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It seems like Rudolph, if he ever was gonna show something, he would have already. But I like him a little bit. I mean, if he's gonna get regular playing time, he's gonna get touchdowns. I mean, you can't. It'll be stupid not to throw to him in the red zone. So maybe I am underrating him a little bit, especially because I do love Bridgewater and that whole offense a lot more. So I don't know if he's healthy and if he is gonna get regular playing time and targets, then yeah, I'll take him.
Yep.
LaFell just went at number 100. Wow.
Yeah, right after really Tony Romo, who was the guy I kind of wanted to take here. I was just talking about how much you should weight a quarterback, but I do think, again, along with my Dez love, I mean, who throws him the ball, right? It's Romo. I think that Romo could be in line for kind of what we saw Roethlisberger do last season, where he's a top 10 guy, but maybe he elevates his game for a season to become a top 5 guy. And at this point in the draft, whatever this is, round 9, that's when I'll start to consider those QBs. The only other guy who's currently available, well, not the only other guy, but the other guys I think right now who have that sort of upside are Eli and Ryan Tannehill. But Romo's a guy I feel a little more strongly about. I don't think I'm taking one of these other guys. So I'm going to look back at, flex players. I talked about taking Perriman in the last round when I took Charles Johnson. He's still, on the radar. I think I'm going to actually lean towards tight end here. And my guy is going to be Jordan Cameron. This is a guy who was, a top 5 tight end talent last year. And, concussions kind of took him out of the running in terms of season-long production. But he's in a better situation now in Miami. I mean, I like Tannehill. Why wouldn't I like Cameron? I especially like his potential red zone role there. They lost. What's that wide receiver they lost? I mean, they lost Wallace.
Mike Wallace,
who isn't so much of a red zone threat. But
who is the other guy? I don't know.
Brian Hartline.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Hartline's gone. What are we going to do? But I do think that Cameron is probably their best, if not maybe their second best, red zone threat behind like Devontae Parker, who's already hurt and going to miss time anyway. I think that Cameron has a lot of potential to kind of re-enter that top 5 tight end discussion. So I don't mind taking a risk on him here in the 9th round.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. That offense, like I said before, I think it's going to be much better and than it was last year. They have a little. Let's see. All right, that's my pick right now. I am going to be the jerk that takes Niall Davis from the Jamal Charles owner. Niall Davis, I like him. I like him so much. I don't know why.
That's a malevolent pick. That's just mean.
Yeah, I know. He's a lottery ticket. I think he's gonna have good standalone value as it is. Because I don't think they're going to give Jamal Charles 20 carries a game. But if Charles ever goes down, he's a legit top 10 running back, and Davis is in the prime of his career. So.
He's very talented, too. That's one thing that gets lost when somebody's playing behind another elite talent like Jamal Charles is just because he's playing behind a very good running back doesn't diminish his actual skill to play football. He's a very good player, and it's just his situation is bad. So like you said, any injury can change that and totally turn things around for Davis. I like that. I like the upside of that pick. and especially after starting zero RB for a few rounds, you need to take those sorts of flyers.
Yeah, I'm taking the lottery tickets, and I'm most likely going to be cutting most of these guys. But if one or two of these guys bust out, then I'm looking pretty good, I'd say.